Hey everybody, welcome to Friday once again. It's DVTV in Space, and we got me and Israel. We're the OG here, but then we've got some special guests today. We got Angel, and we've got Jelinski, and we're gonna hear what some of the things that they're working. I'm outnumbered here, the guys today. So
it depends on how we identify, Tammy.
Okay, you be a black woman, and I'm gonna be.
That's true.
I'm gonna be an Asian man today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asian man.
That's hot.
You should have the freedom to choose.
Exactly.
Right.
Here
It's
at my
better.
studio, y'all can use whatever bathroom y'all want.
Exactly. We're gonna all be transracial, transgender, trans.
Can we be
Formed
trans financial?
Transistors.
For money to my
We
bank
all-
account.
We're gonna be
Always
transistors. Okay?
financial.
As we say from my movie trailer,
Transistors.
this is the place for some transaction.
Transformers. We're going to be
Transaction.
all those things today. We're going to be what we want to be today. And we can, because this is DVTV in Space, and I'm the boss here, and I said so, damn it.
Yeah.
Space.
Yes, that's why we
Actually,
love
I'm not
Tammy.
the boss, but I say I am.
I'm like, Tammy.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is where I just get to say whatever I feel like saying. Well, and I don't have Brandy here to say, the views of Tammy Nash are not necessary.
Right, exactly.
So we're going to talk a little bit first in this first segment about what's going on this weekend. There's a lot of stuff on our calendar. We've got our buddy Brad Pritchett is going to be at the BDT Black Tie Dinner sneak peek today with the DVTV on the scene.
Mm-hmm. And we try to get him here as much as we can, but he's just very
Brad
busy.
is very busy.
Yeah, but he's usually I was going to say he's a regular, but he's not necessarily a regular.
He's a DVTV regular.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But that starts at 7:30 at the Renaissance Hotel on North Simmons Freeway, 2222 North Simmons. It's $35, and the money from this, just like the money from the big dinner in November, it all goes to the beneficiaries. And again, half the money they raise goes to the HRC Foundation, and half the money they raise stays here with our local beneficiaries. It's one of the only black tie dinners like this or it is the only one that
Right.
does that. So that's always a good cause.
Definitely.
Paul J. Williams, the 701 Club, a holy perspective on everything benefiting Cathedral of Hope and Legacy Counseling.
Now, is he going to be doing that one as the church lady?
Yeah, he's Helen
Okay.
Holy. Helen Holy, I think is her name.
That act is so professional and so good and so
Yeah.
funny. I'm so
And
glad
that's-
he's still doing it.
That's 7 o'clock tonight at Cathedral of Hope. Let's see.
Transpose.
Transpose. Tell us about Transpose. Yeah.
So Transpose is a project by Artitude. They're doing a documentary that explores the challenges and triumphs of transgender people as they transition. It's happening at the Studio Movie Grill 4 to 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. This says the new Studio Movie Grill. I wasn't aware that there was a new Studio Movie Grill, but 13933 North Central Expressway.
Oh, I think that one's the newer one. That one, it's located at 75 and Spring Valley.
Wasn't there already one at 75?
No, there was one at Spring Valley. 75 and Royal. And that one's still there too. So it's just like 2 miles up the road.
They're busy. They got a lot of people they got to expand.
Exactly.
So
Well, tickets are available at eventbrite.com, and it's a free event, so check it out if you can.
We have a question already, Tammy.
yeah, I bet we will be discussing that probably during the second segment. We're going to spend the first segment here talking about just events that are coming up, and we have one very special event coming up. But then we've got a lot of important and more serious things to talk about as well.
Yes. Thank you, Laura, for that question.
I appreciate that. One of the things that we want to talk about is what's going on the coast. If we have anybody down on the coast who might be watching, or if you know people down there, make sure everybody's safe. I just heard that Harvey has been upgraded to a Category 3. I think the last time we had a Category 3 hit land in the United States was, I think they said it was Wilma. I think it was 2005. So we haven't had this big of a storm hit land since in a very long time. So
Wow.
And it's hitting like the Gulf, or like where in Texas is it hitting?
it's the whole Gulf Coast. I mean, it's big enough that
huge.
it's kind of part of it's going to hit all of the Gulf Coast, but I think primarily the main target right now is Corpus Christi.
Wow.
And it's going to be coming up. San Antonio's in the path. Austin is going to get some rain. I don't know about when, but they're supposed to get flooding rain, which leads me to the next topic is Austin Pride festival and parade were supposed to be this weekend, I think tomorrow, and they have been canceled because they're concerned for the security and the safety of people.
I've seen some talk. I don't know if they announced a possible new date, but there was some talk on Facebook about it being the weekend of Dallas Pride, and the girls were not having it.
Nah, that's what I saw. That's what somebody told me. They said, "Hey, look, this has been happening." I said, "Oh," and then it says the statement says we're discussing possible dates, in September and October. So I was putting it on our blog, and I'm like, Psst, Austin,
Yeah.
16th, 17th, don't do that.
Right, exactly. But now when you say Austin, I picture something that's kind of like in the middle of the state. Is the hurricane that big that it's going to hit to that extreme to where they have to cancel?
And I mean,
the Pride?
And then also with it growing strength, and it's just upgraded to the Category 3. They're not even saying that that's the final upgrade. It still may get stronger, and so that
Category 3 is the lowest winds for a Category 3 are 111 miles an hour.
Oh my God!
And it goes up to from 111 to 135 as a Category 3. So let me see here. I'll show you if I can find.
So what is that?
So where is the heart of it right now?
I think it's right off the coast. The eye of the hurricane is off the coast, kind of looking right at Corpus.
I have friends already coming up from Houston. They're texting me because they're leaving, trying to get out of the way before anything does go down.
What about like San Antonio?
San Antonio is just like 100 miles in or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that's what somebody told me.
It's like 45 minutes from Austin, so I'm sure it's going to be impacted as well.
Yeah. There you go. I'll just show you this. It's not gonna show on. Come on, dang it. There. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Oh, she's
This
massive.
is text. It's huge. It fills the whole Gulf right now.
show the camera.
Okay. It fills the whole Gulf of Mexico right now when you see it. They showed a picture taken from the Spayse shuttle. There it is. Woo woo. They showed a picture taken from the Spayse shuttle, and I mean, it's just there's nothing but white swirly clouds over the whole
that's horrible.
area.
And the thing about hurricanes is, all you can do is just prepare for it because there's nothing you can do to destroy it.
Run. What you do is you run.
Yeah, or just run.
Unless
You're helpless.
unless there's sharks in there, and then you have to go up in the space shuttle and drop a bomb, right? Drop a bomb right in the
They made like 3 of those films.
Oh, no, girl, 5. And 6 is coming. I've watched them all during a marathon.
Tammy, I was about to say, I'm a little concerned that you know this.
And Shannon.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Well,
of course.
The movies are actually pretty entertaining. Like,
They are
I have never
hysterical.
seen any of them.
Man,
Because
you
I
gotta
just thought
watch
it
them.
was the most ridiculous concept.
It is absolutely
Like I kind of
ridiculous.
want to make a movie with dolphins. That'd be hilarious.
I had
But
this
killer
idea.
dolphins.
friendly though. So.
I had this whole idea about
Tarnished
a
their
horror
reputation.
movie for the Sci-Fi Channel. Sci-Fi Channel has a formula for all their movies. There's always the hero who is ex-military or law enforcement and disgruntled for some reason.
Because he's in the movie.
The heroine, and that is where his career is going. Then there's the heroine who is a scientist.
Oh, I thought you meant the drug.
Not that. No. The hero, female hero.
Got it.
Who is always a scientist and always wears shorts and a tank top. If she has on a tank top, she's
She's smart.
she's the one.
Yeah.
That's usually the one I think is really hot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And then you have all the other hot girls and guys who are gonna
Get killed off
get
early.
eaten, exploded, acid burn, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then you have the arch villain who is going to make it all the way to the end before he dies some horrible, bloody, gory.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was asking for it.
I didn't know there was
He
a
deserved
formula.
it. Yeah, he
That's-
deserved it.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
almost every one of them, and I had a whole script written all about these penguins. Seriously, now
Sounds like a
Who's
space
gonna be-
studio project.
Exactly.
penguins in the South Pole, who global warming melts the ice and releases these ancient bacteria that mutate these penguins, and they're going to be like
awesome.
mutant zombie swimming penguins.
It does sound like a space studio
And
project.
so they're all
Ponzi's.
and they're all coming this way, and the hero is going to be a gay Marine who was kicked out for being gay. And
Oh no, he's rewriting something. Sorry.
is he stealing my idea over there? And then with the heroine, the doctor is going to be a trans woman, and they
Shannon wants to act in it. He's all about it.
Make
you
him
gonna
the
be
king
are you gonna be
penguin.
the penguin?
Make him the king penguin,
Yeah.
dude.
So that was my idea. So
I kinda like it.
Right.
I think it would be fun. It would be great.
Because it's
Well,
so ridiculous.
Yes, exactly.
I'll take a starring role too.
Okay, okay.
You got
Well,
your cast.
What did you notice? Not just a role, but a
Starring.
starring role.
Hey, I could be the lesbian.
I would never cast you as a lesbian. would
Okay.
I?
Nobody says butch is me.
Speaking of Phil the lesbian, we're gonna talk real quick because Monday. Speaking of things that are coming up, Monday's a big one. Monday we have the premiere of Israel Luna's Kicking Zombie Ass for Jesus. It's going to be at the Texas Theater. We're going to have to go to break here in a minute, so we're gonna give away 2 tickets to the premiere. Okay, and all you have to do is answer the trivia question. It's a 2-part question. Answer one or both parts. Answer it by commenting online. First person to get it right, besides me, because I know the answer, gets these 2 tickets, and we'll get them to you. So Israel's going to ask the question. During the break, you're going to see video from the film, yet another exclusive video from the film, and then we'll be back to talk more about the movie and other things. So
Excellent.
ask
Yeah,
your question.
And answer it on the comments of the live feed. Okay, Mike. The question is, way back when in early 2000, the early 2000s,
1990s.
late 1990s. Who was the person who wrote the first article about me, and what was the article about? What project of mine was it about? You can answer both of them or either one.
Okay, and we're going to, first person who gets it, do a Dallas Voice live stream. Type in your answer there. One or both parts.
And
All
we're
right.
going to watch a clip of Zombie.
And here we go with kicking zombie ass. Here we go.
For Jesus.
Hey, welcome back. How did y'all enjoy that? That was the... There. That was a clip from Kicking Zombie Ass from Jesus, for Jesus, or from Jesus, or around Jesus. Zombies and Genius.
All that works.
Yeah, it's all there. So that's going to premiere Monday. Tell us time, place, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it is going to be at the Texas Theater in Oak Cliff. It's going to be Monday, August 28th at the Texas Theater, and we are not only screening Kicking Zombie Ass for Jesus, but we are screening 2 other short films before it. One of them is Shannon's film called The Devil's Chain. Yay, Shannon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was your film.
Yeah, that's Shannon's film. And then the second one is from Angel Rose Marquez. Her film is called Lesbian Strippers from Hell.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's going to be, those 2 are shorter films.
Yeah,
and yours is about an hour and a half, right?
Right, yeah. Mine is 91 minutes. Devil's Chain is 12 minutes, and then Lesbian Strippers from Hell is 17 minutes.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Y'all don't want to miss being there for this. Like I said, we have 2 tickets. We're waiting on answers.
Yeah. Should I ask it again, or
ask it again?
All right. So the trivia question is, and if you win, you get these 2 tickets. Is who wrote the first article ever about me in the late 90s, and or what was my very first project that article was about?
Yeah. Okay. Now, y'all answer this question. You have until the end of the show, which is somewhere around 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Be a little late because I think we got started late today.
Yeah, we did.
So, and be sure to be there. Tickets are $10. Tickets are available at lalunaentertainment.com online, and you can get them at the door unless it's sold out, man. So
Yeah.
LaLuna.com.
Yeah, lalunaentertainment.com.
It just rolls off the tongue so awesome.
Thank you.
So does La Luna.
And we also changed the
La
pricing. Before, it was $15 to get in and then $10 if you dressed up as a zombie. We have changed it. Now it's $10 to get in, but it's free if you dress up as a zombie.
Oh.
And you have to be a convincing zombie. And speaking of, we also, not of zombie, but of the movie, we have, Angel is one of the main actors in the film.
We have Angel as one of the stars of the film. So we're looking forward to seeing that. And you haven't seen it yet, right?
No. And I'm like I said, I'm really nervous to watch it.
And Tammy, this is the strangest part because you were talking about the promos earlier. Is one of the promos is of the character Philomena, who is played by Angel. In the project, the character is a lesbian.
It's okay. You can use whatever pronoun. I'm not gonna get mad.
So at the time, Angel identified as a lesbian, and so now that's different. So it's just been kind of funny to talk about.
I want to. That kind of leads us into letting you talk to us a little bit, Angel, about the project you're working on and about the transition from Phil the lesbian to this, and how talk about you were saying it's hard to watch yourself back then.
It is. I've seen maybe 2 snippets of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I saw was one of the fight scenes that I have in the movie. I watched it. The minute I came out on my phone, I had turned away. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And it took me a minute to actually concentrate and watch it. I actually had to warn some of my friends who have met me now.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, look, there's I look a little different. I sound different, and so it's interesting. It's interesting, especially I'm still in the first year of my transition.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still going through a lot mentally, emotionally, physically. To throw this on top of like, oh, look, here you are.
Yeah.
Because at the time when I cast you identified as a lesbian.
Yes.
And then, and the movie was shot about 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long post-production process. And since then, you have transitioned and now you are a straight male.
Yes.
So I just want everyone to know that me as the director, I know this. I know what's going on. And when I'm promoting
No, he doesn't.
And when I'm when I'm promoting the film, I'm saying, this is Phil. She's a lesbian. She will kick your ass. And I'm thinking, I hope people who know you personally know that I know the difference.
It's okay. I've taken care of that.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
How do you
And
feel?
anybody who bothers you, I'll take care of it.
Right.
Angel,
good.
There'll be someone with a bat waiting for you in the office. She's taking
that
care
would
of
be
it.
good. How do you feel about talking about your self prior to your transition? Because I've talked to some individuals and, they're shut that part of themselves off.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with my show. But
Tell us about that too.
It is what it is. I don't think anything of it. actually, I have such a sense of humor about it. It's just like when Tammy was, kind of talking about it, she chuckled. I do the same thing. It is what it is. You come from something. You don't come from nothing. And that's what a lot of people need to know. Being who you were, whether that was you or not, being physically who you are, is your beginning. It's still part of your journey. You cannot cut it off, because everything that you went through, I can say personally, everything that I went through as a lesbian still made me the man that I am today. And a lot of people are not understanding that. A lot of people are having a hard time with accepting who they are because they cut that off. Because there are some questions that can be answered by he or she. Mm-hmm. That's why I always, I sound so crazy sometimes. I refer to myself as two people, because I was two people.
Sure, yeah.
And coming out, it was funny because I did write this thing, and I titled it Condolences to Her. I went through somewhat of a grieving process because I didn't know how to let her go, because she was there the whole time. How can you do that? It's still a part of you. You know what I mean? So a lot, that's a lot of what I want to discuss, and stuff. So, well, I don't know if that makes sense.
Tell us about the project. Are you going to do a program here?
I am. Israel's helping me out with it. Because he's the brains and I'm not. I just like to lift heavy shit, so that's about it. So pertaining to what I was talking about, what I found to be the easiest part of this transition was coming out. Mm-hmm. Then every trans person is left with, what now? What I found is a lot of trans people, not all of them. I know some of you guys are probably flipping me off right now. Not all of them. They're not very friendly. They're so guarded that they don't even, like you said, they don't even want to talk about it. So it's like, for the babies, and I'm still a trans baby, what now? So I sought the help of books, videos, online videos, shows, and they all spoke of memoirs and experiences, which didn't answer any of my technical questions about what now? Where do I go? What do I do? Well, what do I do if this happens? What do I, nothing like that happened. There was a lot of bitching, a lot of this and that, and, I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of sympathy for stuff like that, so excuse my facial expressions. But, it's just a lot of just experiences. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't know, and what I did come across, something interesting I was going to talk to you about. One of my friends came up and was like, can I ask you some questions? Don't be mad. And I was like, what? She's like, I have so many trans friends, and they will not allow me to ask. So how can the community, as a trans person, how can you expect the community and the rest of the world to understand who and what you are to the world if you're not answering their questions? And that's what my show's about.
Cool. Okay.
I will allow anybody to ask anything. There will be no limits to what you can ask. Just warning, I will answer. I will answer.
Don't ask something you don't want.
Right.
The title of my show is going to be Transistor Radio. Yeah, that's cool. Because I just thought it was hilarious with what he said about the whole transistor thing, and so I just feel like, I'm not big on attention. Like when you put that story on the cover, I was like, holy shit.
It's kind of overwhelming.
I was like, are you kidding me? I thought I was going to get a little paragraph and I'd be like, hey. But that was fine. It needed to be done, know. And the same with this. It needs to be done. I'm not looking for anything other than I want my guests to be educated. And with educating one person, that will spread.
Okay. Are you going to have like other trans people come on?
Oh yeah, I'm going to have everything. Cool. If I can get a conservative straight person to come on here who hates transgenders, and most people don't know I'm trans.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I come out to them on the show. I want them to see their reaction.
Shannon, make sure the delay is working that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shannon knows I can take care of myself. It'll be fine.
I think so.
So that's what that's about. I think it'd be a great service to the community.
That's going to be a great show, and I think you're right. A lot of people come across as unfeeling or bigoted or prejudiced against, or just rude and stupid, but it's because they're uneducated.
Well, that's, I've always said ignorance comes in two parts. You have your bigot, racist, just, big assholes. Then you have lack of knowledge. Those are two completely different things. It
Exactly.
doesn't mean that they hate you.
Right.
It means they don't know how to approach you or
Right.
how to deal with the
They're
situation.
not stupid. They're ignorant. Ignorant means there's a lack of knowledge.
Right.
There's
Right.
also
Educate-
willful
they-
ignorance. You know, people
Willful. They
choosing
choose to be stupid.
Living in
Exactly.
ignorant bliss, as they say.
Because I think we can apply that same concept, you know, whether it's transgender or to race as well. I've had some really interesting conversations in the past couple of months with Uber drivers. I had one guy, he was anti-black, anti-gay, and so I'm in the car and I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be an interesting ride home.
Did you give them a bad
Well,
rating?
it's funny you say that. I've compared it to that. Because I compared the trans movement to the Black Lives Matter movement.
I mean, it's
the
similar.
same thing.
I mean, even, you know, my transition, I mean, I identify technically as transgender because I didn't want to subscribe to the binary, so I'm gender nonconforming and, you know, that falling under that umbrella because I wanted to transition to freedom. You know, for me, it's, you know, being able to choose the reality that works for me, but also creating a space to educate folks because they may not know what's going on.
Well,
in my
exactly,
head.
and I might invite you on my show. By the way,
You should.
I
that'd be
well,
great.
one of the
Yeah.
things that I've found in researching everything is that I feel that all the differences in the walk of life is what makes us the same, and people are forgetting that. We all
Yeah.
bleed the same. We're all human. We breathe. We have hearts. We have, you know, we're all the same.
I don't know. I think I know some that don't have a heart.
right?
They marched
He's
in
right here. Don't
Charlottesville.
talk about him.
I'm right here.
I think-
Speaking of trans, can I also mention, because I was looking at the screen, you know, and the background, that Willem Belli is going to be present at the screening as well. And Willem plays the lead, and Willem plays a transgender female who is here up against the religious folk in the film as well.
That's interesting to me because you have transgender actors and actresses in this film, and how does Willem identify, or does Willem identify, or is Willem just Willem?
Willem, right? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Willem is a gay male,
Okay.
and who
Does
dresses
drag.
up, does drag as an entertainer. So
Okay.
Willem is an entertainer. Yeah.
Okay, but Willem does not identify as trans.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But there are people in the film other than Angel who are transgender. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say who's what. I mean, if you know the people in the film,
Right.
you'll know. But
Right.
And some of the trans people in there are playing,
exactly,
quote, you know, biologically born, whatever they identify as. Kind of.
Cisgendered
biologically born
individuals.
bigots, I think.
Yeah. So it's a great dynamic. I don't even think about that. I just cast good people.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Okay, I don't think we've got an answer to our question yet.
Yeah.
so
I might have a second question when we come back.
a second question. Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to give them a hint.
I was going to say, yeah, it's pretty
Okay,
obvious.
let's give a hint. Yeah, I think so. Let me give y'all a hint. The story he's referring to in the trivia question ran in Dallas Voice. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay,
Yeah. And the question is, who was the person that interviewed me
right, and wrote the story
and wrote the story?
and expects, you know, a shout out at the Academy Awards. But that's all I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. One of the things we did want to talk about this. When did it happen? One night this week, there was a trans woman. I don't know when the shooting happened. I'm gonna take that back. I don't know when the shooting happened. There was a trans woman who she was married. She and her partner had children. Were raising children. I don't know all of the details, but she and her partner, a man, were raising children, and they had apparently a transphobic neighbor who kept harassing them, and they called on a disturbance, and the cops went, and the trans woman had apparently, I don't know, stabbed or cut the neighbor that was harassing them. Said that this person had attacked them. She defended herself with a knife. She was distraught. She had the knife in her hands. And when the cops showed up, she's there with a knife. She's an armed person, so they drew their guns. And apparently, I don't know. The police report indicates that the woman swung the knife at the police, and they shot her and killed her. And then one night this week, there was a crowd holding a vigil, a protest rally vigil, for this woman, and someone drove their car into the crowd. There were some injuries. There were some injuries. There was not anyone killed this time. But, they're trying to say, this person was surrounded by these people in the street, and he was trying to protect himself. And they're like, no, you watch the video, and this person's back here, and these other cars turn and go another way, and he comes like this so he can be up in the middle of it all. It was somebody.
Where did this happen?
I can't even remember where it happened.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Laura, if you're still watching this show, feel free to comment on anything.
Please do.
That we can.
Is it Laura or Mike Laura? I think the name was Mike Laura.
Oh, okay.
So
does this make 18 or what is it?
No, she would be the 18th transgender.
18th. Yeah.
Guinevere Riversong was 17 in Waxahachie.
Yeah.
Earlier this month. T.T. Dangerfield in Atlanta was 16. And this lady, and I am embarrassed that I cannot remember the name and don't know more details about it, but she was killed and would be number 18.
Wow.
This one was a bit different. Most of them are, murders in that someone attacked someone. This involved the police, but doesn't matter. She's dead, and so that's number 18.
Has her husband come out and said anything or made a statement? Because I'm wondering what his reaction is to all of this.
I believe her husband or partner. I don't know that they were married.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I'm going to say partner. But if I'm not mistaken, the police arrested the partner on something unrelated, like maybe a warrant, traffic warrant or something. I don't know what it was. But I believe I read somewhere where her partner was picked up by police. And,
I'm really curious to know where it is, because that would
Right.
probably explain a lot.
Exactly.
Like if it was Virginia or something.
Well,
No, I
too.
don't
Like
think
you
it
have all
was.
these protesters with their flags and tiki torches or lighters or whatever they want, and yeah, you know what I mean. And they're approached non-violently, but you get other movements, whether it's the Black Lives Matter, or, transgender, whatever, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
I've seen several posts on Facebook and several different media outlets about ads on Craigslist recruiting people to be protesters at these events. And so I don't know if these are like planned activities to incite the violence,
Or
those
they could
ads
be
are fake.
lured. That's what you
Yeah.
mean, right? Like being lured. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, it's Craigslist. Don't trust it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
yeah, that's for sure.
Unless you're in men seeking men. What?
Just sex responsible.
Casual
Okay.
encounters.
St. Louis, Missouri. Okay.
St. Louis.
The man is probably late 40s, early 50s. I have someone who says she knows the answer
Oh.
to the, but she's listening on YouTube, or she can't. She's not where she can comment. So if we don't have somebody besides Chad, you work for the newspaper and are home with pneumonia, so you cannot play, Chad. That wouldn't be fair. Pneumonia was the secret word of the day because he has pneumonia. The man who did Mark Coleo. I'm gonna say late 40s, maybe early 50s, white guy. So surprise for that. Happened Wednesday night on Manchester Road, not far from the Transgender Memorial Garden, where the vigil was held. Her name was Kiwi Herring. That was it. Kiwi
What was her
Herring.
race? What was her race?
She was, I believe, a black woman. I'm not sure. I believe I saw a photo of her.
Yesterday was the day that remember the Jenny Jones show where there was a gay man on there and the show was about
Scott Amador was the gay man. Yes.
Yeah, secret crushes, and so they a straight guy was next to the guest, and the guest came out to him and said, "I've always had a crush on you," and oh, haha, everyone laughs, and it's really great. 2 days later, the guy
Gets
killed the
drunk
gay
and
man because he
shot him
said
to
he
death.
he was embarrassed that was done on television. Well, he just got
Wow.
out yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I mean, I'm not saying it's good or bad that he's out because, I mean, maybe he served his time, maybe he learned. But from the article that I read, it doesn't seem like he did. So
Did he make
it's,
comments
n-
in the article? Did they interview him?
No, I was watching it on Good Morning America, and they didn't say specifically. They were just talking to people that knew him. So I'm going to research that a little more and just kind of look up more articles to see how he feels now. I think that would be
Exactly.
important to know.
Okay. The thing that I'm looking at here is a Fox News, and some of the details that they're
Oh,
reporting are slightly different.
Alternative facts.
Yeah.
Well, it is Fox News.
Yeah, I was about to say the same
Alt-right
thing.
news, yes. But but the woman's name was Kiwi Herring, and she was, like I said, she was distraught. She, I think, had been reporting this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
All right, before we go on any further, I want to talk. Let's talk about you, Jelinski. I want you to tell people what it is you do. First of all, I think a lot of
Save the
people
world
don't know
before
you.
bedtime.
Huh?
I save the world before bedtime.
Yes. Tell us about what you do, and then what you want to do. Yeah, you're gonna.
Awesome. Well, a lot of what I do for me is really spiritual, and so I seek to bring about peace, love, and happiness in the world. So everything I do kind of connects back to that. And so I do a lot of work with the Resource Center, managing some empowerment programs, and also our HIV testing and STD testing programs. And so big piece is HIV awareness, because we do know it's definitely impacting the LGBT communities in several ways. And trans individuals, black individuals are some of the most high risk. And so I do a lot of work to make sure that we're meeting folks where they are. We can get them the necessary resources that they have, whether it's testing, treatment, PrEP, you name it. We try to make sure they're taken care of. And then outside of that, I just try to, like I said, bring about more peace, love, and happiness. And with that is a lot of times education, I feel, because a lot of problems that we have, I think, stem from ignorance. Folks not willing to go into spaces and be transparent and be vulnerable and share. And so I try to cultivate those spaces in which we can engage in conversation that may make us uncomfortable, but hey, in that uncomfort we'll grow. And like Angel, I'm working with
Israel.
Oh, Israel.
I wanted to call you La Luna.
That works too.
That's
I'm
okay
working
too.
with
La
La
Luna.
Luna.
That's his porn name.
Yeah.
X2. So
No, my porn name is actually David Copperfield.
Copperfield.
Oh
my Lord. You're gonna make it disappear.
Working with Israel to create a show here at Spayse Studios in
Not
which
porn.
Not
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
That's
do you have a porn section? I mean, I've always
We'll
wanted
talk
to kind
about-
of create porn too. Okay.
This is the Dallas voice show. I can't say.
I used to manage porn stars, so I'm no
Oh.
stranger to that area. So.
Gotcha.
talk about that offline.
man, this is interesting. I didn't know that part. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm creating this show where we can talk about some issues facing us, whether it's sex. I think that one of the biggest reasons why HIV is so rampant in communities is because we're in the closet about sex. Folks have sex. If sex didn't exist, none of us would be here, right?
That's
So
the truth. We don't want to think about your mom and dad, but yeah.
it happens. And so just all those different issues that make us uncomfortable, just going to those spaces. And there's a researcher, Dr. Brene Brown. I really love her work. She talks about shame resilience and being able to go through.
I've not heard that term. Shame resilience. Talk about that a little bit.
So it's about, when you, topics. So let's say sex, for example, again, you have shame in talking about that, or if it's, your trans experience, whatever it is that cuts you off, being able to stand in that storm and come out on the other side okay. It may mold you and take punches and such, but you're going to be stronger as a result of it.
Okay. I just had this vision sitting in front of my TV listening to the commercials. And who's that lady who does like the live? Ilana?
Oh,
is that her name?
Iyanla Vanzant.
Iyanla. We're gonna have the gay, gender queer Iyanla.
Fix my life.
You're gonna fix it for us, aren't you? I think
try
you should
to
do that. I think you probably could do that too.
I tried to. One of the first people that I want to have. We didn't talk about this, but Mayor Mike Rollins, he's receiving the Hero of Hope Award.
Oh, that'd be great.
And a couple years ago we had the porn convention.
I don't want you to talk to him about his sex life, though.
No, I want to talk about the porn convention that was blocked.
Yes.
I think I talked to you. When it's blocked, that I wanted to write an article.
What was blocked?
The porn convention.
They had reserved the convention center. They had it here that one year.
Like I think in 2015 they had it,
and they reserved it last year. But then at the last minute said, "Oh no, y'all gonna have porn stuff. We don't want that in our convention."
Oh, because none of us have sex in Dallas or
Right.
Fort Worth.
I don't.
So I love the.
Hey,
mayor.
don't bring Fort Worth in. That was all Dallas.
I would love I think. Well, I don't know if they even had the convention last year as a result of that, but I know that they were fighting trying to get it here. But I haven't been following it. But this, just as an example, one of the conversations I would love to have, I
think that's a good
how
idea.
Can we get past that? And so
I would be
That's
willing
one of
to
the
help.
topics I want to talk about too on my show.
I think that would be I think that's probably going to be one of the questions a lot of people have.
That and genitalia.
Yeah.
That's most of the questions that I get.
Yeah.
And then they get surprised when I tell them in detail, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "You asked."
Yeah.
You wanted to know,
asked.
bitch. I told you.
right. I
You
think
asked.
for me, the ultimate goal of pretty much everything I do is to help people cultivate the reality works for them. All too often in society, we're told how to be. And I'm growing up all the time, even my hair, a lot of people told me, "Oh, you should cut your hair off." And I've had even family members, "You're walking around looking like a question mark." Well, girl, listen, if I want to like a question mark, that's my choice. I'm going to do it.
Call me the Riddler, bitch.
I think this is cool. One of the things that we have to make sure and do is we have two we know of, but when we have these shows, when you get yours going, I want to make sure that in our gay agenda every week in the paper, we have a block that says, "Hey, remember every Friday from 3 to 4, Don't Panic with Israel Luna. Every Friday from 4 to 5, DVTV in Space. Whichever day you're going to do yours,
So you're going to do like the
Transistor
gay TV
radio.
guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
for the space station gay shows, I think we should list those so people know that we have local people who are doing great things here, and Israel's given us all an opportunity to really put some stuff out there and try and get some things happening. It's beeped at me. We've got to take another break. When we come back, I'm gonna talk a minute because I never talk. I'm gonna tell you all about a little journey I've been on the last couple of years. So when we come back, we'll talk about that. All right.
I think
Thanks.
she's transitioning.
And I am so sorry. I gotta go.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, we're back. We're back.
Hi.
We're gonna. Angel had to go, and we're gonna see him again soon. I hope
Monday.
here on MTD.
DTV.
DVTV in space. Lord, just washed my mouth. Can't do a thing with it.
Now
So,
it's time for
I'm
talking with Tammy.
Right.
So I told you I was going to tell you all about a little journey I've been on. So I'm going to just start in, say, late April, early May 2015. And I was having some back problems. My back was hurting. I'm like, dang, it's hurts. And Sandra's like, well, shut up and go to the doctor. You know,
Right.
quit griping. Do something about it. So I went to like an urgent care. And I'm like, my back hurts. Okay, we're going to give you some medicine, make it not hurt. But let's take some blood. Do some tests. I said, okay, whatever. A couple of days later, 2 or 3 days later, they call me back and they say, hey, look, your blood test, the tests show an elevated RF factor, which means, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but they're like, that means you might have rheumatoid arthritis. That's a sign of rheumatoid. I said, okay. They said, you need to see a rheumatologist. I said, okay. And they said, we'll call and make an appointment. It takes forever to get in to see a rheumatologist. So it was like July, I think it was 26 that year. Okay, that's when your appointment is. Okay, well, I'll go see him. Then on like June 2nd, found out I had cancer. I had uterine cancer. So it's like, going to have cancer. I'm going to have a surgery in July, like the 16th. So I call him and, hey, I'm not going to make this appointment. I kind of have other things to do. Okay. Go through. It was a breeze. I mean, I almost feel guilty, you know, that my recovery was so easy. I didn't even use the pain pills they gave me. So, but by the end of the year, early December, go in for a checkup, cancer-free, yay, everything's great.
Yay.
Yeah, and no more problems. So,
5 to that.
yeah, and then about October, November last year, I had been having some issues with my joints, with stiffness and pain, and it was getting worse. And again, Sandra's like, stop bitching and go to the doctor. So I did. I made an appointment, went to see the doctor, and I told him about it, and he looks at my hands, and I described the symptoms, and he says, oh, yeah, look, you know, your hands are puffy, swollen. You've got rheumatoid arthritis. I'm going to give you these pills, this anti-inflammatory to take until we can get you in to see a rheumatologist. We're going to take blood just to confirm. I'm like, okay. So we did all that, and then a few days later, 2 or 3 days later, he calls me back and says, no, tests are negative. You don't have rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. Just keep taking those pills. Okay.
Okay.
So that was like end of the year, last February, end of February. By this time, it's really bad. I'm just getting worse. So I went back to the doctor, and he's like, oh, let's try different anti-inflammatory. 2 weeks, I'm like, no, this ain't working. This is worse. This does not work at all. And we go back and forth. Finally, he prescribed like a week's worth of steroids for me. So I took this, and hey, this is great. This is helping. The swelling's down. I can use my hands. My feet aren't hurting. My legs aren't hurting. I'm doing better. And I call him, and he goes, yeah, but you can't keep taking steroids, you know, that you can't do that. And I'm like, well, damn. He goes, go back to the first anti-inflammatory. So I go back, and I've been taking that, and I'm just getting frustrated. By this time, I've decided, you know what, I'm crazy and a hypochondriac, and there's nothing really wrong, or they would find it, right?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. But I found I call the insurance, hey, can I go to a specialist without a referral? Yeah, you can. So then I had to find a rheumatologist that would take me as a patient without a referral. And I did. So last week in July, that Monday, I went to the doctor, and he tells me, I don't think you have diabetes. No, not diabetes. I don't think you have rheumatoid arthritis. You maybe have diabetes, you get diabetic nerve pain that presents that way. You might have lupus. I don't think you do, but you might. Gout. There are all these things it could be. We're going to do all of these tests they don't normally do. We're going to find out what it is. We're going to treat it. I said, okay. This past Tuesday, I went in, and he said, okay, you don't have cancer. I said, that's good. You don't have diabetes. That's really good. I don't have to give up my Cokes or my candy. You don't have lupus. No, that's good. You don't have gout. That's good. You do have rheumatoid arthritis. I'm like, well, damn. I thought we were going to slide through, and you're just going to say, take this, psych medicine because you're crazy. But no. So they told me that I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. I also have osteoarthritis, which is what you get as you get older, and your joints wear down and they hurt. storms are coming because my knee hurts, you know, the osteoarthritis. But rheumatoid arthritis isn't like that. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease where basically your body attacks itself, and it attacks your joints and your connective tissues. And you see people who have their hands are deformed and they have those big knots on their joints. That's rheumatoid arthritis. But of course, nowadays there are a lot of medications. I'm not worried about it because I know what it is. We're going to treat it. But here's the thing. We start out with this medicine called methotrexate. I'm going to take that for 2 months, 8 weeks. And then they're going to add something else in that's called a biologic. Hopefully we won't have to do that. So it's very expensive infusion. You go in, you get IVs, you have to take injections, all that. I don't do needles very well. So hopefully we're not going to even have to get to that stage, but we're doing the methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy because it was developed to treat cancer. So I'm going to start taking it today when I get home. Then I take it once a week, and I'm going to take it on Friday, so that way if I get sick from it, like, you know, people get sick from chemo, you know, I've got the whole weekend to recover, and I can come back and be all right by Monday. Because they said 24 to 48 hours. So I'm going to take that tonight for the first time. One of the things that could possibly happen is my hair might fall out. And I'm going to confess that even though I do very little to actually style or, you know, do anything with my hair, I'm kind of proud of it. I have good hair. My name ain't Becky, but I do have good hair.
Hey, Becky.
Right.
So my hair might fall out. And I told Sandra, if my hair is going to fall out, damn it, I'm not going to look like some mangy dog. I'm going to shave my head. So this is why I'm telling this whole story, because I'm having an idea about this. Today it was occurring to me. If I have to shave my head, I think I'm going to auction that off. Let people either, you know, you pay me this much money to take a swipe on my head, or whoever has the highest bid gets to shave my head, and we can do it live on DVTV.
Sure.
Something along,
And donate the money to Resource Center?
Well, actually, I was going to give it to my wife, who is raising money for Team in Training, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Team in Training. She is training to do a half marathon in February, and she has to raise, I think it's over $1,000. I don't know the exact amount, but she needs to raise over $1,000 that will go to them, because she's doing this for her father, who has multiple myeloma, which is also a blood-borne cancer.
Maybe we should do it during the Pride show.
Oh,
Right.
we got to, well, first of all, we got to make sure my hair's going to fall out, because you ain't just going to shave my hair.
I think that's a good idea.
I'm not going to just shave it for fun.
And if you decide to do all of that, I say that we get you a big pageant wig. Huge, like B-52s pageant. She's going to win Miss Gay US of A Texas pageant.
Only if there's like a tiara that we
Yes.
some crown. So now, I just came up with this today, and I hadn't told anybody. So people that know me that are watching this are going, "Oh, good God, that she had lost her damn mind." And I may have,
and her hair.
but I might be losing my hair. But I think I'm going to do that. But yeah, you know, I want to. I want to help her because she's raising money for something that's kind of a similar kind of deal, but it's for her father. It's for a friend of hers, and a friend of ours that's had myeloma for some time. So I want to do that.
Well, I'll be sending out positive vibes that none of that has to happen.
Good.
Yes.
We can still raise money, but not by cutting off my hair.
Right.
But I wanted to tell y'all that because that's, you know, that's what I'm going to be going through. And if I start acting like stupid and looking weird, it's because of medicine. So
I know the thing beeped us, but I'm wondering if you thought about like any like holistic medicine or alternative like lifestyle changes.
We've been discussing that. That, you know, I need to exercise more and more regularly. Change to a healthier diet and be more aware of those kinds of things. Someone suggested, gluten allergies can do that and things like that. So I'm going to do those things too, but I use my hands a lot. I'm a photographer. I can't afford to lose them. I type, I write, and I take photographs, and I don't want to lose that. I mean, and that's kind of a, you know. So I'm gonna do the other medicine, but we're gonna do all we get. But part of it is vitamins too.
Yeah.
I've started taking vitamin D
and minerals too. Get iron and all those good things.
And one of the things that they give you to help mitigate any of the side effects is called folic acid. So I'll be taking that as well. Already am taking that. So we are down to the end of the show here. We're going to come back for our 2-minute closing. So watch this commercial that Shannon's going to show you, and we'll be back.
Wow.
Okay, we're back. We got like 2 minutes to wrap things up. So I don't know what on earth Israel might talk about. But
I don't know. What am I going to promote?
I don't know. Tell me, bud.
Oh, the only thing I can think of is at the Texas Theater this coming Monday, starting at 7:30, we are screening 3 films. We are screening The Devil's Chain, Lesbian Strippers from Hell, and my film, Kicking Zombie Ass for Jesus, which is the companion piece to Ticked Off Trannies with Knives. So please go to lalunaentertainment.com to purchase tickets, and we will see you at the theater on Monday evening. The whole cast and crew is going to be there, including Willem Belli is flying in from L.A.
And Angel, who was here earlier.
Yep,
Yes.
Angel.
All right.
And on Sunday, one of the programs I manage, United Black Element, will be celebrating its 8th year anniversary.
That's
So
amazing.
8 years of serving
Wow.
the African American community and raising awareness about HIV. And it'll be at Lofty Spaces in the Cedars, which is 8015 Montgomery Street. You can get tickets at ubedallas.org. And then also Fuse will be having a brunch from 2 to 4 at Sue Ellen's. I'm not sure the address is, but it's in the neighborhood.
It's on Throckmorton at Cedar Springs. Down there.
Yeah.
So, and then also find me on Facebook, Jelinski S. Brown. Again, I just like to help people cultivate the reality that works for them. And if you need help with that, let me know. All
right. And I'm Tammy Nash, and I'm managing editor for Dallas Voice. And you can find me here every Friday, or almost every Friday. And I want to remind folks that on the 15th of September, Friday the 15th of September, we're going to be broadcasting live from the JR's patio. We're going to have, hopefully, Don't Panic and DVTV in Space live on the from JR's that day for Pride weekend. So y'all make plans to come out and hang out with us, and hope we'll see you there. Hope we're going to have Jelinski back, on a regular basis to talk with us and things like that. So we have 2 tickets. I don't think anybody answered the question in the comments, but I got a notice from someone telling me that they knew the answer.
But they were on YouTube, right?
Yeah, they were watching where they couldn't comment. They were not on the live stream. And the answer is
Tammy Nash was the very first person to write an article about me, and it was about my very first project that I was doing through the cable access network called Boobs, Boys, and High Heels.
so. I'm gonna deliver a couple of free tickets to that person who knew that, and hope to see you guys. I've already got my tickets for Zombies. Zombie ass, that's what I call it. And I hope to see you all there. Okay, we'll see you next week on DVTV.
Have a good weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.